as predicted, Red Bull win. Let's face it, who thought that Mercedes was actually going to win? Forget the fanboys, because they're always going to think that Mercedes is going to win anyway. See, with me, I love Mercedes, I love Lewis Hamilton, I love the whole team, I love Mercedes. But when the better team is the better team, you have to admit it to yourself.
Correct!
Very simple. Because if you can't admit it to yourself, you're not a true motorsport F1 fan.
Yep.
At this point in time, Mercedes are the second best team.
My man!
Like I told you last week, it's like a poker table. The 2021 season, TOTO has come out in the press so many times and said, we have stopped developing this car. They're not sandbagging, as you can see. They are not the fastest car. TOTO said we've stopped developing the car, we'll concentrate on next year. It's very simple. Very, very simple. They are the second fastest car. Now, am I saying that Red Bull going to win the World Championship? No. But at this point in time, Red Bull are the fastest car. And it doesn't matter what track it is at. It could be on street tracks, it could be on the normal tracks, it could be on the little bendy fuckers. It doesn't matter. Red Bull are the fastest car. They went all in like a poker table. They said, you know what? Honda's leaving this year. This is that we're going to put all our resources into this year. A bit like 2013 when Red Bull were the dominant team of the F1. They put all their resources into that last season. They won the title. And when the next season started in the hybrid era, Red Bull were nowhere. This might happen again, like coming into the next season, the new regulations. TOTO is concentrating more on next year's because he said he doesn't want to start the new era of Formula One, the new regulations on the back foot, because if you start on the back foot, what happens? You're done for the first 5 years. And that's what Mercedes have been concentrating for next year. So when all the new staff coming eventually, if TOTO walks away and he said he's got someone else to replace him, he leaves Mercedes in a good place. That's all I'm saying. You have to admit it to yourself right now. You have to admit it. Red Bull are the fastest car and Mercedes are playing catch up. There's no 2-horse race anymore. Okay? There's no 2-horse race. There's 1-horse race. And the 1 horse is the Red Bull. They're the only bull in front. He was 13 seconds in front of Lewis Hamilton before Lewis Hamilton pitted. Very simple. You got to admit it to yourself. Red Bull have done an amazing job. Their car is developing all the way through the season. Mercedes' car has stopped developing. And you can see it now. The only way Mercedes is going to get out of this, they need to bring some upgrades to the car. They need to put a rocket fuel underneath that car if they want to challenge Red Bull. Red Bull are faster in the straights everywhere. TOTO started bringing out the bendy wing a couple of weeks ago. That's gone nowhere. Mercedes' wing was more bendy than Red Bull's. Very simple. And the pressure is on Mercedes. They're saying, look, TOTO at the end, you know what? He's probably sitting back. He don't give a shit. He's getting paid. He's the boss of Mercedes. He's probably thinking to himself, you know what? When next season starts, then you're going to see what's going to happen. Yeah, but we're not talking about next season. We need to do about this season. You need to deal with your business this season. And at the moment, Red Bull is dealing with Mercedes. They've definitely got the straight line speed. They've definitely got the one-lap pace. They've got everything. Listen, overall pace, it all goes to the Red Bull. Because they've sacrificed everything for this season. Because I know next season, Honda's gone. And they're going to start developing their engine from scratch. Very simple. And that's it. This is why they're bringing out. They got the new IT team that they're bringing. The new building that Red Bull are bringing to try and get the engine sorted. Get a brand new engine. Their own engine so they don't have to rely on other teams. But we'll see what happens with that. But at the end of the day, right, this Grand Prix was a fucking snooze fest. It's not just the fact that Red Bull won. We all knew that Red Bull was going to win. It was a fucking snooze fest after the first lap. After the first lap, it was done. I fell asleep for halfway through the race. Up to like, there was about 10 laps to go. I had to go and rewind my skybox and go and re-watch some of it because I fell asleep because it was a fucking snooze fest. Complete and utter fucking garbage. Last week was a better race, the one in France. That was a good race. But this week was a fucking snooze fest because we all knew what was going to happen. A little bit like last season, 2009, 2020, when Mercedes were winning every fucking race. Week in, week out, week in, week fucking out. That's what it seems like now. We know what's going to happen. We're going to go to Austria next week. What's going to change? What's going to change? Oh, what? You're going to do some brake balance, are you? You're going to try and balance out the car, Mercedes. Not going to happen. You have to put a fucking rocket underneath that car for you to win this race next week. I'm not saying the title's over. I'm not saying it's over. Don't take words out of my mouth, okay? All I'm saying is that at the moment, the way we stand now, Red Bull have got the fastest car. The faster in the straights, the corners, don't matter what track it is, they have got the fastest car. Very simple. You got to give Red Bull credit. They rolled the dice and it's working. Now I'm going to get into this review. It's not even a review. You know what? I didn't even do much notes. At all. So let's get into this review. Max gets an amazing start. Norris holds his position. He started off in 4th place. He held his position. Amazing. Lando Norris is definitely a future world champion. I don't care what anybody says. He's very popular around the paddock. He's got a nice big fat contract with McLaren. The people love him. He's like the people's champion of the F1 community. Lando Norris. People love Lando Norris. My favourite driver at the new era is George Russell. I've loved George Russell even before his Formula 3 days. But Lando Norris is a character. He's like a young Johnny Herbert. That's what people say now. He's like a young Johnny Herbert. Johnny Herbert loves him. Loves Lando Norris. And I think I love about Lando. You know what I love about Johnny Herbert? Is I'm going off topic a little bit. The thing I love about Johnny Herbert, he always backs up the British drivers. Is that it's nice to see a British driver doing it, and he doesn't care if he's a reporter. He always backs up the British driver, and that's what I like about Johnny Herbert sometimes. So Max gets a good start. Norris holds his position. I'm holding off the speed from Sergio Perez. Charles gets damage on his front right wing. Goes straight into the pits. This is the first lap, by the way. And during the first lap as well, Antonio Giovinazzi clashed with Pierre Gasly. Gasly got a puncher. When we first saw Gasly, he had to go and pit straight away in the first lap. When we first saw Gasly, we looked at Gasly, and as he was going to the pits, we thought he was just a puncher. But no, it wasn't just a puncher. He had a suspension damage on his right front wheel. So that was his race. Game over. And that's a shame for Gasly, because Gasly was in a good position at the race. He had a good qualifying session. He was good during practice, and he finally got into the race, and he finally got a good start. And then he get class. Antonio, the Alfa Romeo, clashes with Gasly, and that was his race over. Back to the interview room and back home. Ricciardo at the beginning was an amazing. Ricciardo, more than anybody on that grid, he has to prove himself. He's come to McLaren. I talked about this a lot yesterday on my qualifying video. He come to McLaren. He thought he was going to take over. Not really worked out for him. He gained 5 places at the beginning, and that was amazing by Ricciardo. Commentators were saying this is the old Ricciardo. This is what Ricciardo needs to do. I thought at this time, yeah, Ricciardo's going to do it. He's going to finally get hold of this car by the straps and take the car with him. He drives the car, not the other way around, not the car driving him. Because these past few races, since the season started, the car's been driving Ricciardo, but now Ricciardo needs to drive the car. Gaining 5 places in the first lap was amazing. That's some censorship. So, the first pit of the day was lap 23, 2.3 seconds. That was Nikita Mazepin. And Russell, lap 27. Russell was amazing. He was 8th place. He was battling with Alonso. Alonso was he was chasing Alonso, and for about 8 laps, maybe more actually. He was chasing Alonso, and then his team radio guy says, "Look, Plan B, back off a little bit." Because I think the reason why he had to back off because he was overheating his brakes. Because the way the Williams car set up, his brakes were overheating, and he was behind Alonso, so he had to back off a bit. So they said, "Look, Plan B, back off." He goes into the pits, but this is where it all went to shit for George Russell. He pits lap 27 and puts 18.3 seconds. Yeah, geeks. 18.3 seconds. What more can this guy go through? He had the perfect start. He got into Q3 because Tsunoda got the flipping penalty, but he was still well deserved. He got into Q3. That car shouldn't even be getting out of Q1, but he got into Q3. He started off in top 10. He gained position. He was battling with Alonso. The guy said, come into the pits. We need to change the tyres. He comes into the pits, and what happened? There was a big delay in the pits of 18.3 seconds. And they was talking about some fluid, something to do with the fluid. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but he got delayed. That was his race over. He came back at the pits, and that was it. He come out the pits. He must have been absolutely gutted after the start he had. He finally got into Q3. He was battling with Alonso. Now Williams is battling with Alonso. And where's Nicholas Latifi? At the back, drinking his chocolate and drinking his coffee. Lavazza, whatever it is. So, hard tyres, lap 20. So, he put the hard tyres and got delayed in the pits. Lap 27, Perez pits as well. He got a bit of a delay. It was 4.8 seconds in the pits. So, you got Red Bull, the best pit team in the world. Okay? By far. Sub 2 seconds every time. Sometimes under that. Comes into the pits and he gets a delay at the pits. I don't know why. They didn't explain. They didn't explain after the race. They didn't explain on the radio. There was no explanation. He came into the pits here and his pit time was 4.8 seconds. So that Perez on the back foot again. Because you know when he comes out, Bottas pits, which he did the 2 laps after. No, the lap after, if Bottas gets even a 3 seconds, Bottas will stay in front. So it was 4.8 seconds because when he came into the pits, he was behind Bottas. So it was really crucial that Perez got a good pit stop, which he never. He got a 4.8 seconds, so that was him done as well at the beginning there. So straight after Bottas pits, he comes into the pits, gets a 2.0. Amazing pit by... Bottas, he got 2.9. He got a 2.2. No, 2.6. Bottas did, and he come into the pit. He come out the pits in front of Perez because like I said, the 4.8 seconds by Perez that cost him position when Bottas came out of the pits because he got a 2.6 seconds. So like I said, Bottas could have got 3 seconds, and he still would have been in front of Perez. Lap 29, Hamilton came in, got a 2.2 seconds pit lane in the pit. That was an amazing pit stop by Mercedes. By Mercedes standards, 2.2 was absolutely amazing. Keep it up, Mercedes, because you need to keep that up with the pits, because that might help you in the next few races coming up. So, lap 29, box, Max pits. As soon as Hamilton pits, Max pits got to 2.0. There you go. You think you can do a 2.6 and then go and do a 2.2? Watch these motherfuckers. Max comes in, Red Bull 2.0. There you go. Best pit team in the world. But I'm afraid, guys, because of that new regulations coming in, you're going to be 4 seconds. So that's why Red Bull are pissed off. That 2.0, do I agree with that pit thing? No. I think that they should leave it the way it is. At the end of the day, if you want to beat the best pit team in the world, you work hard and you try and beat the best pit team in the world, which is Red Bull. And to me, that is not right. They should keep the pit. They should keep the pit times the way it is. Don't change it. Put it to 4 seconds. You go into the pits. You delay by 5 seconds, that's down to you. You go on the pitch, you do 2.5 seconds, that's because you've worked hard and you've deserved to get that pit time, and now they're taking that away from the drivers, regulating it more and more and more, and it's not good for the fans, and it's not good for the race. I can't see how this is going to work out. You've got to go into the pits and you're going to do 4 seconds in the pits. So you could come in and change your tyres after 2.5 seconds, but you've got to wait for another few more seconds to get out. That's not right. That's not right. Why should you have to wait in the pit for 1.5 seconds just because you're good in the pits? That don't work out for me, and I think they should get rid of it. They're bringing that in. I think it's hungry. They're going to bring it in. So, lap 39, like I said, George Russell, not having a good race. He got delayed in the pits. He was in the pit for 18.3 seconds on the hard tyres when he came in at lap 27. Lap 39, he came into the pits again, but this time, it didn't come to change his tyres. It came in because he had to retire. His car was finished, fluid damage or whatever. You know what? I don't even know. They said something about the fuel tank. Game over for George Russell. Game over. Lap 39, out of the race. So, there you go. George Russell, look, at the end of the day, right, you know my opinion on George Russell. But George Russell will be a Mercedes driver. It's just a matter of time. It may not be next year, it might not be the year after, but it's a matter of time before that guy goes into the pits, and that's it. I mean, goes into the to be a Mercedes driver. That's it. Matter of time before he's the Mercedes driver. So you just has to be patient. Lap 57. There you go. Come lap 52nd, lap 57. Max Verstappen was 8.0 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Right, so there you go. There's your straight line speed strategy. If you think Mercedes has got the straight line speed, the fucking haven't. It's over. Lap 57, 8.0. And lap 57, Max Verstappen was 8.0 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So you think that Mercedes has got the straight line speed? Think again, because I haven't. He showed you there that Red Bull got the fastest car, 8.0 seconds. This is before Hamilton coming to the pits. Not long after, look, Bottas was the pitted Perez. Again, put the soft tyres on him to try and get the fastest lap and try and gain on Valtteri Bottas. It was 20 laps ago, and I thought at this time, 20 laps ago, when Perez pitted, the pitted Perez, when the pitted Perez, I said to myself, that's a mistake. If Perez would have been when Perez come into the pits the first time, Perez came into the pits the first time and there was a delay of 4.8 seconds at lap 27. If he would have come into the pits and he would have got a 2.5 seconds, and then when he went for the pit at the end to try and gain on Bottas, he would have caught Bottas, because at the end, Bottas only beat him by half a second. If he would have came into that pits and got a 2.5 seconds, he would have been fine. But because he had a 4.8 seconds, that means he's going to try and, when he went back into the pits again to pit again, he was always playing catch up. And I know it was close at the end, but when I saw Perez go into that pit, to try and to put the soft tyres on, there was like 20 lap medium tyres on, and there was 20 laps to go. I just couldn't see Perez catching Bottas, and I was right at the end. He didn't catch Bottas. He come fourth. Bottas got the third place finally, and I'm glad. At the end, about a lap towards the end, the pit Lewis put the soft tyres on. It was 2 laps towards the end. They put the soft tyres on Lewis. Lewis came at the pits, got the fastest lap, so we got the extra points. He comes second. And so, the winner, Max Verstappen, which we all knew that was going to happen. Second place was Lewis Hamilton. And third place was Valtteri Bottas. Finally got his podium after that debacle of at the last race. That debacle from last week. He shouldn't have been in that position. He should have got a podium last week when he was at France. Didn't listen. As you know, by the radios, if you want to listen to Valtteri Bottas' radio, go on my channel. You see it on my channel. I'm a flaming tarmac. I've got the full radio conversation between him and his team. And you could hear Bottas at the beginning of the race saying, look, we need to do a two-pit strategy. But I didn't listen. That was in France. So look out for that on my channel, Flaming Tarmac. So that's the end of the race. The winner at the end was Max Verstappen. And second was Lewis Hamilton with the fastest lap, so he gained that extra points. And third place was Valtteri Bottas. Now we're going to look at the standings, how it finished. So there's the results. We've got Max Verstappen with the win. Second, Lewis Hamilton. Third, Valtteri Bottas. Fourth, Sergio Perez. Fifth place, Lando Norris. Sixth place, Carlos Sainz. Seventh place, Charles Leclerc. Eighth place, Lance Stroll. Ninth place, Fernando Alonso. What a race from him, Fernando Alonso. Back to his best, as I always knew. He just needed time with the car. Fernando Alonso, my favourite driver of the new year, of the current drivers out on the grid today. Fernando Alonso, my favourite driver. In 9th place, 10th place, Yuki Tsunoda. 11th place, Kimi Raikkonen. 12th place, Sebastian Vettel. 13th place, Daniel Ricciardo. Again, look, Daniel Ricciardo at the beginning made up 5 places at the beginning, but again, he was stuck behind the train of cars. He was gutted. But at the end of the day, you should have passed them. You end up in 13th place, Ricciardo. Again, having a bad day. 14th place, Esteban Ocon. 15th place, Antonio Giovinazzi. 16th place, Mick Schumacher. 17th place, Nicholas Latifi again. Why is he at Williams? 18th place, Nikita Mazepin. And George Russell and Pierre Gasly didn't finish. So we have the constructors. We've got Red Bull at the top, extending their lead, 252 points for Red Bull. We've got Red Bull at the top, 252. Mercedes, second place, 212. McLaren, third place, 120. Ferrari, fourth place, 108. Ferrari were nowhere today. Fifth place, AlphaTauri Honda. Sixth place, Aston Martin. Mercedes. Seventh place, Alpine Renault. Eighth place, Alfa Romeo. And 9th place, Williams and Haas at the back with no points again. So the last 2 teams, Williams and Haas, 0 points. So that is it. That's how it finished. And that's the end. So that's the end of the review. Yeah. So there you go. There's nothing you can say now. We know Red Bull have got the fastest car. They got the fastest in the straight line. They are the favourites at this point. I'm not saying they're going to win the title, so don't take words out of my mouth. I'm not saying they're going to win the title, but at this point in time, Red Bull have got the fastest car and Mercedes are playing catch up. There's no 2-horse race at the moment the way we are. The way the season is now is there's 1-horse race, and that is the Red Bull. But can Mercedes catch them up? Of course they can. Can Mercedes still win the title? Of course they can. But they need to bring upgrades and they need to take it to Red Bull in a big way. They need to dig deep. And the great champions always do. But the season's not over yet. But at this time, the way we are now, Red Bull are the favourites. And you've got to admit it to yourself. This is my fear of Mercedes fanboy. You have to be honest. And that's why I'm honest. This is why I'm the best at this. Because I am an honest reviewer. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows I like Mercedes. But if Red Bull do a good job, which they have been doing all season, you've got to give the respect to Red Bull. And that is it. Respect to Red Bull. They rolled the dice to put all their resources into this one season. And now it's paying off at the moment. So, this is Solo P1. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch. All the links will be in the description below. Thank you very much, guys. Solo P1 signing out. Bye.